In the name of God, hello and welcome. I'm Ali Zamadadi with the latest coming to you live from the Iranian capital, Tehran. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani says mosques will be reopened as of Monday in 132 low-risk counties, and schools may also reopen later this month. The president noted on Sunday that mosques will reopen in low-risk or white towns and cities, but schools will remain closed until late May at least. However, he added health protocols should be observed all along. The Iranian president has urged the nation to be prepared in case the coronavirus outbreak might reach a peak in the future. President Rouhani noted that enough medical equipment as well as basic commodities needed by people should be available so that the general public will have no concerns in that regard. He at the same time noted that enough has been produced to meet domestic needs for items needed to fight the coronavirus pandemic. Elsewhere in his remarks, the president said figures show 83% of people on average have abided by health protocols, which shows people's respect for health directives. The president also touched upon screening tests conducted nationwide to detect people with infected coronavirus. The president underlined that some 30 million people are also scheduled to be screened in the second phase, which he added is more accurate. Now, head of Iran's Health Ministry's Public Relations Office, Kianush Jahanpour, said on Sunday that some 47 more Iranians died of coronavirus over the past 24 hours and that 78,422 people out of a total of 97,424 infected with the coronavirus have survived and recovered, while the total number of deaths reached 6,203. Jahanpour said that 976 new infected cases have been detected since yesterday. The Iranian official noted that 2,690 patients are in critical condition. He added that 496,273 tests have so far been carried out across Iran. Iran has taken numerous steps to stop the spread of the disease, ranging from closing down schools and universities to cancellation of cultural and religious gatherings. It is also constantly disinfecting and sanitizing public places. Now, a series of airstrikes by the Saudi-led military coalition have hit trucks carrying imported food and medicine in Yemen's central province of Al-Bayad as the Riyadh regime presses ahead with its devastating onslaught against the impoverished Arab country of Yemen.
This is the aftermath of the latest Saudi airstrikes in Al-Bayda province. According to Yemeni officials, the attacks targeted a customs facility and left nearly a dozen people injured. The air raids also destroyed 11 trucks that were loaded with food, medicine and other basic commodities. Activists believe such attacks are evidence of Riyadh's unwillingness to even show commitment to its own declared truce for the month of Ramadan.
This attack on the customs center reveals the real intention of Riyadh to continue its escalations despite its declared one-month truce. According to the army spokesperson, over 500 air raids took place in the first week of the ceasefire.
Targeting food and medicine trucks come at a time when Yemen is battling the outbreak of the coronavirus. On Saturday, Yemen's health minister held a presser in Sana'a, accusing Riyadh of deliberately attempting to spread the COVID-19 pandemic.
Saudi Arabia is contributing to the spread of COVID-19 in Yemen through forcibly sending back infected Yemeni migrants, attacking checkpoints and food centers, and restricting the import of essential tools for detecting and treating the COVID-19.
The attack on Afar Customs Center is not the first of its kind. Recently, such checkpoints in southern and northern Yemen have witnessed a spike in Saudi airstrikes. Experts say Yemen could not bear another pandemic, as previous less fatal outbreaks have claimed the lives of thousands of civilians. The outbreak of COVID-19 has renewed calls on Saudi Arabia to lift its blockade and end its attacks. Activists and rights groups have urged the UN to send in urgent aid and medicine to Yemen in order to combat the spread of the deadly virus. Mohammed Attab, Press TV, Sana'a.
Moving on, the United Arab Emirates and other Persian Gulf stock markets plummeted on the first day of the week, hit by renewed concerns about the U.S.-China trade war after President Donald Trump threatened new tariffs on China, as well as downward revision in ratings of regional companies and economies. Saudi Arabia's Tadawul Index, the region's largest stock exchange, was worse hit on Sunday, falling by some 6%. Dubai financial market on Sunday fell below 2,000 points, led by decline in Emaar Properties, Emaar Malls, and Air Arabia. Abu Dhabi's Securities Exchange was also hit by 1.63% to 4,161.2 points on Sunday, driven down by Commercial Bank International, Eldar Properties, Dana Gas, and Ishraq. They all fell by more than 4.8% during the day. Meantime, Bursa Kuwait plummeted by over 1% to 5,308.5 points, while Muscat Securities Market was down by 0.6% to 3,538.8 points. Qatar Stock Exchange also fell 0.73% to 88,700 points, while Bahrain was nearly unchanged on Sunday. Back home, Iran has strongly condemned a criminal and cowardly act by terrorist groups in Iraq that killed a number of fighters from the Popular Mobilization Units, or PMU, also known as Hashr Shabi. My colleague Omid Ederi has this story.
Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesman Abbas Mousavi said on Sunday that the Islamic Republic of Iran supports Iraq's efforts to fight terrorism to establish peace in the country and condemns any move aimed at undermining stability in Iraq. He also offered Iran's condolences and sympathy with the Iraqi government and nation over the martyrdom of the PMU fighters. The Iranian official expressed hope that through their rapid intelligence, the Iraqi government and nation would be able to get rid of few remnants of the ISIL terrorist group, which has been created and is being supported by certain governments. At least 10 PMU fighters were killed in coordinated assault which took place in the cities of Mekshifa and Balad in Iraq's Salahuddin province on Saturday. The PMU said its fighters have now taken control of the situation, adding the Iraqi government has also sent reinforcements to supplement efforts and prepare for a possible retaliatory attack. The PMU was formed by Popular Volunteer Forces in 2014 after the ISIL terror group launched a campaign of bloodshed and destruction against Iraq. The group played a major role pushing back and ultimately defeating the terrorist forces which had taken control of large swaths of the Arab country. The Iraqi parliament voted to integrate the PMU into the Iraqi military in 2016, effectively placing the force under the command of the Prime Minister and granting the group a standing similar to that of other branches of Iraqi security forces. The combined push, which was reinforced by Iraq's allies, including Iran, ultimately led to ISIL's expulsion in the late 2017. ISIL remnants who conducted sporadic attacks against Iraqi security forces and civilians alike with increasing regularity, attempt to regroup and wage a new era of its reign of terror and destruction in the region.
And finally, Save the Children says more than 7 million children in Afghanistan are at risk of hunger as food prices soar due to the lockdown following the spread of the coronavirus in the country.
Non-standard nutrition, war and some social challenges have put the Afghan children on the top of the list of most vulnerable children around the world. As the latest report by the charity organization Save the Children states, over 7 million children are at risk of hunger as food prices soar due to the coronavirus pandemic. This comes as over 1 million children are working either on the streets or in places like restaurants, workshops and etc. Most of them are the breadwinners of their poor families. But the lockdown and the fears of COVID-19 has turned the life for them too difficult because they have lost their jobs and cannot earn money to feed their families.
As a result of constant war in Afghanistan, the children are at risk. There are about 1.2 million children in our society who are busy at hard work. The number of severely malnourished children is on the rise too.
As the pandemic will most probably lead the country to a perfect storm of hunger, disease and death, the government says it has adopted some measures to ensure vulnerable children and their families have enough to eat, especially those in remote areas.
The government has wide plans to support the children in different ways, especially those who are seriously at risk.
In the meantime, Afghanistan's Independent Human Rights Commission vows to follow up the issue of children's hunger.
The Commission litigates this issue alongside the children's rights bodies. We also call on governmental bodies to adopt practical measures to avoid the rise of hunger among kids and their families.
Many others believe there is an urgent need of reduction in violence to pave the way for saving children. Based on official figures, in the first 9 months of 2019, more than 2,400 children were killed or injured in Afghanistan. Apart from hunger and insecurity, the role of criminal groups in misusing children is another challenge here in Afghanistan. For instance, thousands of children are being used as minors by these groups across the country. Reporting for Press TV, Syed Amin Olemi, Kabul.
Thank you for staying with us. Good night.